Hey guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to another video. Today we've got a unboxing and early impression on another expensive niche fragrance. I'm working through this Spirit of Dubai sample set, which I've shown you guys many a times. And actually, I tried to wear a couple of them this morning, and the atomizer would not spray. I've been on if you've been following my channel, you know I've been on a little bit of a proper summer fragrance kick, you know, aquatics, fresh fragrances, stuff like that. And I was trying to wear Bahar today, and it would not spray. So that kind of let me down. The atomizer wouldn't spray. I'll try again some other time, or end up just ripping the sprayer off and trying to just get to the juice so I can do an early impression for you guys. So that one didn't work, so I went to the next one, which was this one right here, Taroth, which I was very excited to try. Sprayer didn't work. Again, back to back. Really disappointing because some people had some amazing things online to say about Taroth. So I'm gonna have to rip the atomizer off to get to the juice. So I said, all right, we'll try the third one. If the third one doesn't work, I'm out on Spirit of Dubai today. But luckily, the third one worked. And this one, you can see it's silver, which is a hint. And the juice that we're going to be talking about is a fragrance called Abraj. A-B-R-A-J. Abraj, which apparently means beautiful eyes in Arabic. I'm half Arabic, and I don't speak the language, though, so I will have to take that... you know, at face value. Okay, but before we get into the first impression, I have the unboxing that I want to knock out because this is a very special fragrance. Actually, this is a special day for me because this is the very first Areej Dore fragrance that I have a full bottle of. And Areej Dore fragrances, as you know, are limited edition runs. They're very hard to find. And really, the only reason I have this bottle is thanks to Eddie. He goes by the name Jonathan B. Swift. And he alerted me that one of his friends, who he bought many bottles off of in the past, has this Areej Dore bottle for sale. And it was at a very fair price. And he said, I trust the guy, Ramsey. I've dealt with him many times. You know, go for it if you want. And I did. And so I took his advice and I went for it. And here it is. Look at the beautiful presentation. I mean, absolutely stunning. And then, oh God, look at this. I'm going to have to wear this very soon. Here you go. War and Peace, #1, the original, with only 5 ml missing. And here is there are the notes. Russian Atom so beautifully etches into the top of his boxes. 35 million year old amber resin, which he did explain to me once how they date the amber resin. I'm not sure, but there is a way for them to actually date it. Rue Gulab 2019, Indian Patchouli and Orris Root Absolute, co-absolutes of deer musk. There's real deer musk. There's real ambergris in this. Castoreum made by Russian Atom, Indonesian vetiver absolute, synthetic civet, and amber resin oil. Now, if I actually have a first impression of this fragrance up on my channel from this decant that Russian Atom was kind enough to send me. Here it is, War and Peace. This is the one that I did the first impression of, and there is the bottle. And oh my God. I don't know if you can see, but there's just a little bit of resin. Look at the atomizer. There's just a little bit of juice on the side of the bottle. Oh, it smells absolutely amazing. I remember people saying that this was hard to wear, it was animalic, you know, that kind of stuff. For me, it was absolutely perfect. The animalic notes were right up my alley. And just finding a bottle of this juice has just really made my day. It's my first Areej Dore fragrance. And, you know, I've spent so much money on all these other brands. And I never purchased any Areej Dore perfumes because they usually just come and go. That's it. They're gone. You know, you would have to go to eBay and pay scalpers who want triple, quadruple the price, that kind of thing. But currently, there is still bottles that are on the Areej Dore website. I was actually looking earlier today. You can still go on there, and right now it's July 7th, 2022. You can still buy Aquilaria Blossom, which is his newest fragrance. And you can also still buy Civet de Nuit, which was his collaboration with Sultan Pasha. And, you know, usually you don't get that opportunity for a month or 2 or 3 straight. So the fact that it's still on the website, you have an opportunity to grab these still. I would say if that's something you're interested in, go check it out. Keep Aquilaria Blossom in the back of your mind, because we're going to talk about it later once we talk about Abraj. So let me pull Abraj up. I just did a fresh spray right here. I don't know if you can tell, but the color silver, when I first sprayed this, I was instantly reminded of this. This is a Creed fragrance, and it's actually called Silver Mountain Water. Okay, now, they're both silver, obviously. But the reason that I'm reminded of Silver Mountain Water is that Silver Mountain Water has this, almost like this fruity blackcurrant feel. Not blackcurrant leaves, which add this almost pissy vibe, but fruity blackcurrant. And the blackcurrant in Silver Mountain Water adds this, you know, fruitiness, and it also complements the tea note beautifully. And the tea note makes it a very relaxing, very calming, very easy to wear fragrance, right? So the notes for Abraj, actually, before we do the note tree, I want to read you the little scroll, because each one of these Spirit of Dubai fragrances is a scroll that you can read the breakdown from the brand. So let's read what they have to say about Abraj, shall we? Okay, here we go. Which is a really cool presentation, I must say. Okay, Abraj. We walk towards the city, to the spears of steel and glass that shot up from the desert and towards the sky. And dazzled by their brilliance, we took in the majesty of the skyscrapers. As formidable as it seemed, there was an inexplicable allure that drew me in. What is this? I asked her in a stupor. I wanted to possess it. This is Abraj, replied the Spirit of Dubai, strong like the steel and concrete that raises humanity to the heavens. The energetic bergamot is offset by mysterious woody notes, amber, patchouli, and vanilla. Okay, so it's funny, all of their little write-ups almost feel like they're explaining Dubai 2022 to like a Bedouin from, you know, 2,000 years ago who's never seen a skyscraper. What is this building shooting up to the sky? Needless to say, they need help with their little write-ups, but the presentation is freaking cool. I will give them that. But the prices are not so cool because these are pretty expensive. And let me read you the notes on Abraj. So here is the note tree, and it's a long one, so prepare yourself. Abraj, you've got black pepper, saffron, lots of saffron here when you first spray. But I will instantly say, don't think of the extremely heavy resinous saffron that you get in other Middle Eastern style fragrances. Somehow they managed to keep this fragrance very fresh. Okay, so keep fresh in the back of your mind because this is a fresh fragrance. And you know me, normally I love stuff like this. This is dirty, animalic, you know, some may even say challenging. Those are my favorite kind of fragrances. This, Abraj, is an amazing fresh fragrance, okay? Now, it doesn't last as long as you would expect a beast brand like Spirit of Dubai to last. It's not something that you're going to spray on. It's going to last 20 hours or anything like that. But it's a fresh fragrance. I mean, what do you expect from a freshie? It's spicy because it has cardamom in the opening. There is a damask rose note, which is done beautifully. Bergamot, pink pepper, lavender, petitgrain, and pine, with a heart of rose, thyme, cypress, leather, cedarwood, geranium, jasmine, and violet, and a base of cypriol, oud, oak moss, patchouli, tree moss, sandalwood, amber, benzoin, woody notes, vanilla, and musk. So their note trees are almost like Roja Dove note trees. They're always huge. They're always in depth. There's a million things. Basically, what you get is you almost get this fresh opening. I don't know how they've done this. I don't know how they've pulled this opening off, but it's very fresh, but it still stays Middle Eastern, if you will. It literally, to my nose, almost smells like they took the concept of Silver Mountain water and turned it into a Middle Eastern perfume. This came out 20 years before Abraj, okay? So Silver Mountain water came out in the mid-90s, and Abraj came out in 2015. But the concept and even the marketing with the silver, it just reminded me instantly of Silver Mountain water. Also, when I looked this up, you know, I always do notes when I do my fragrances, and I wrote the title of the fragrance. And there's other stuff on here. I didn't want to show the camera, but I wrote the title of the fragrance, and I wrote beautiful eyes, and then I wrote nothing else. And the reason I wrote nothing else is it's not a fragrance that you can really just sit there and break down. There's very little to break down in this fragrance because it doesn't transform very much. There's not many transitions. You know, it's not like you're going to get a first opening 30 minutes is this, and then it turns to this. It just doesn't do that. You're hit with something very fresh and simple. Even though there's a bunch of notes, in essence, it's fresh and simple. There's some spiciness, like I said, from the cardamom and thyme and pink pepper and stuff like that. There's a little bit of fruitiness that will remind you of Silver Mountain water, although I'm not really sure where it's coming from, because Silver Mountain water has that blackcurrant note. There's really no fruit note listed, but for some reason I get this fresh, spicy, fruity vibe. Maybe like a hint of a fruit, and maybe that could even be the oud, because the oud in Abraj is done in a way where it's in the background. So if you remember, or if you go watch my Russian Adam interview, you will remember that I was wearing a fresh oud fragrance that day for the Russian Adam interview. So I do own some fresh oud fragrances that have oud listed in the base, but they are not heavy oud fragrances like you're used to smelling when you smell a heavy barnyard, Middle Eastern oud, anything like that, right? The oud is used more as a backbone of the scent to keep the scent, the structure of the scent proper, but you don't get very much oud. And that's basically what they've done here. So it's a fresh oud fragrance. Now, I was mentioning earlier that the price to ratio combo with Spirit of Dubai is usually, it's not worth it, okay? Normally they ask way too much money for what you get, in my opinion. Some of the fragrances were okay. Like, I would love to have their oud, but there's no way I'm paying $1,200 a bottle or whatever they're asking. This one is another one in the boat where this is a fragrance I would wear in summer, in spring and summer. This is a warm weather fragrance. This could have been on the list with Bakar yesterday for my fresh fragrances, because I did a fresh and aquatic fragrance video yesterday. This could have been on the list had I known yesterday this is how this smelled. This could have been on the list. But on the website, it's $425 US for 100 mils. Okay. Now, I said keep Aquilaria Blossom by Areej Dore in your mind, because if you're going to spend $300 to $400 on a fresh oud perfume, Aquilaria Blossom does it even better. And I haven't done a full review on Aquilaria Blossom yet, but I did talk about it a little bit, because I have this little sample that Russian Adam was kind enough to send me. Okay, and so for me, if I was going to spend $300 to $400 on a fresh oud fragrance, I would go for Aquilaria Blossom personally. This is more of a real oud. This is something that you're going to, experience a much more artistic fragrance. The whole point of the Aquilaria Blossom was to highlight what a blossom of an oud tree would smell like if oud trees had blossoms, which they don't. But I love the artistic idea, and this has real ambergris in it. You get a lot of white ambergris in the opening, and there is a very fresh oud. He actually did this with one of his good friends who also has an oud distilling business. I always forget his name. But Russian Adam made Aquilaria Blossom with his good friend, Taha. And so him and Taha made this fragrance together. But this is much more interesting to me because you can smell the castoreum, you can smell the quality of ingredients. And while this is still nice, this doesn't smell cheap. It smells like a Creed. So the Abraj, to me, smells like a Creed fragrance. Someone in Base Notes or Fragrantica mentioned it smells like Aventus. I think it smells like Silver Mountain water, but you get the idea. That fresh, easy to wear. It's priced like a niche fragrance, but it almost smells kind of like a borderline, like 1 foot in designer, 1 foot in niche. And even though there are some Middle Eastern facets of Abraj, so you get this. So you definitely get saffron. Saffron is probably the most Middle Eastern note that you will actually get when you're smelling the fragrance. But there's also cypriol and oud in the base, and those two are famously Middle Eastern fragrance notes. But you're not going to get the oud because it's not about that. It's about the freshness. So think about you're smelling a fresh version of Silver Mountain water that they tried to add a little twist of Middle Eastern culture to, but you don't get the oud, not in the animalic way. And because of that, if you're going to spend this kind of money, that's why I say there's nothing wrong with Abraj. I like Abraj. I think it's a fantastic fresh fragrance. This one really shocked me. Some of the other ones I had some pretty bad things to say about. Not bad. None of them were bad, but all of them just kind of, they almost seemed run-of-the-mill. They almost seemed like a cliche, like a cliche of a Middle Eastern fragrance. And they did a really good job with Abraj. This is a good perfume, but it does have a problem. It has that price problem. This is not worth $425 for 100 ml. Absolutely not. Not when you can get Aquilaria Blossom by Areej Dore by Russian Adam for basically half price. Aquilaria Blossom on Russian Adam website right now is $250. And so that's what I would go for if I wanted a fresh oud fragrance. Now, what I really want is a bottle of Ottoman Empire, but I can't find it. And I don't want to spend $5,000 on eBay for it. But I will tell you that if you're in the market for a fresh fragrance with a Middle Eastern twist, you could go for Abraj or you could go for Aquilaria Blossom. But they play in the same sandbox, but different. Because this Abraj feels like I said, it feels a little bit designer. Like if you were if you were wearing, if I could easily wear Abraj anywhere in the 100-degree Texas heat. I could wear this to work. I could wear it to, meet parents in the neighborhood who have small children that play with my children, that kind of stuff. I could wear it anywhere. And there would be no offending anyone. I don't think anyone would feel out of place smelling this on me, that kind of thing. Ocularia Blossom is, while it's a little bit more challenging because it has the real ingredients that not that Spirit of Dubai isn't using real ingredients, because maybe they are using some, but it smells like it's a synthetic composition, right? The Areej Dore fragrances are on a completely another level to me. And if you listen to my Russian Atom interview, which if you have not done that, I would urge you to do it. I still think it's the most important thing I've ever uploaded on my YouTube channel. It was an hour and 45 minutes of pure just bliss chatting with Russian Atom. And he basically said that the reason he thinks oud is the top ingredient in the in the ingredient world is because oud can almost smell like many different things. It can be used many different ways in a perfume. It can be highlighted as that barnyard note. It can be used as the backbone for a scent, and it can have this very fresh, clean aspect to it, which most people instantly think oud is all barnyard. It's not. It's not all fertilizer. It's not all, the back of a buffalo. It's not all that. There are other facets to oud, and Ocularia Blossom shows those facets beautifully. And so for me, for this kind of a scent where it's fresh, it's spicy, but it is not in the traditional oud sense. It's it's an oud that is maybe more modern, because modern oud fragrances are starting to get more clean. Now, I like the dirty stuff, but that's just a personal preference. As a reviewer, you have to be, you can't take a position based on your personal preference. Although I always will tell you guys how I feel, you have to be fair about it. And I think that Ocularia Blossom would be the way to go as far as bang for your buck goes. Now, you get 30 mils instead of 100 mils, but those 30 mils will go way farther. This you'd have to reapply 3 or 4 times a day, I think. I mean, look, I've only worn this once, and look at the dent I've put in this, because you can't overspray this fragrance. It's very, it's just clean and fresh. And those kind of fragrances are hard to do. They're very, very rarely will you click on a Ramsey YouTube video and I will say, this is a fantastic fresh fragrance. That hardly ever happens, mostly because fresh fragrances just don't do it for me anymore. I'm not excited to wear fresh fragrances. I want to wear the heavy stuff. I want to wear the animalic, the challenging, that's just where I'm at in my journey. So I will never wear a fresh fragrance like this in winter, ever. But I will wear winter fragrances in summer because I crave them. But if you want a fresh fragrance that is season specific for spring and summer, that's fresh and easy to wear, but still a little bit different, check out Abraj. It's worth checking out. It's worth sampling. I enjoyed it, but it's not I wouldn't buy a bottle. I would buy Ocularia Blossom, like I've said now 20 times. But that's kind of where I stand on Abraj. I'm very grateful and honored to get to try these. These are exclusive fragrances. They're expensive. This sampler set is expensive. If it wasn't for my fairy godmother / father, you know who you are. Thank you very much. I would not have been able to sample these. So I really, really appreciate it. And, like I said, it's an honor and a blessing. And I am so glad I found a bottle of this. This is a gift. This is a gift from God that it fell into my lap like this. Thank you, Eddie, for telling me about it. I instantly told Russian Atom, I said, I finally got one of your bottles. Oh, God. It's so good. Oh my God. I might just have to I might just have to spray this on somewhere else other than where the Abraj is. This would completely overrule Abraj, by the way. So yes, I am very, very happy to have this. This is one of my proudest unboxings because of its rarity and also because, you know, the brand really did a 180 in my mind. I went from saying, I like Bortnikov more, I don't know if I'm a big fan of Russian Adam and his work, to going, wow, this is something special. And that 180 really came from being immersed in the brand and you know, getting to speak with Russian Adam and trying his he was kind enough to send me these samples, which I had a chance to try. So I got to try a lot of the brand, and my views on it completely changed. And so to have my first bottle here is, you know, I'm beyond grateful. I mean, I could just sit here and smell this atomizer all day. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. War and peace. Blessing. So, Russian Adam, I hope to see you in the comments, brother. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for the continued support. Again, everyone that's kind of made this channel what it is. I hope you guys are getting stuff out of these videos. I hope you're, you know, there's only one other person that did a video on these Spirit of Dubai fragrances, at least on this one. I don't see many videos about them at all. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents too, because, and I am enjoying going through it. I'm enjoying going through the, you know, the sample set. And I enjoy giving you guys my first impressions. So a thumbs up, a comment, a subscription, all that stuff helps the channel. I want to interact with all of you. I love seeing your faces in the comments. If you leave a comment, you will get a reply from me, almost guaranteed, as long as you're not, you know, being just outright rude or disrespectful or something like that. You will get a comment from me. Even if we disagree on a certain topic, I will still reply respectfully. So leave a comment and you will get a reply from me. I love the community aspect that this channel has gained. And, you know, I've said it many a times, but I learn more from you guys than you do from me. There is no doubt about it. All these first impressions I've been doing, no way would I ever had been lucky enough to get my nose on all those fragrances if it wasn't for the kindness of you guys out there. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow with another video. Bye, guys.